Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616 and to the first day of the first week of Dr. Fantastic. With that said, it also happens to be Halloween. Pretty cool. So I thought I should do a Halloween related video for today that still relates to Doctor Strange, and thankfully he has plenty of that with him. Because he has fully opened the door to a new part of the MCU, the supernatural. Now, this door was cracked open by Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but honestly, the opportunities this corner brings with it is huge. There are so many characters and stories in the supernatural side of the Marvel Universe that I feel like it deserves to be a part of the MCU as well. If you saw a video I did a couple weeks ago on 7 characters who should get their own Netflix series, link in the description, I mentioned both Ghost Rider and Blade in that. They're both awesome characters, and they both have one thing in common: supernatural roots. So, with that said, today I'm going to propose something else. See, when Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all the Defenders went on Netflix, they all got shows on there because they exist in the same kind of section of the universe. The more street level part. So, what if Marvel did something similar and made a collection of shows, say on Amazon or AMC, that occupy another part of the MCU, the supernatural? Ghosts, monsters, demons, witches, and all that. That'd be pretty cool, right? Now, I've already mentioned Ghost Rider and Blade being a part of this, because they are ultimately the biggest characters of that corner. For instance, if Daredevil is the poster boy of Marvel's street-level side, Ghost Rider is for their supernatural. But with that said, who other than Ghost Rider and Blade would be there? Well, let's keep it down to about 6 or 7 shows. That's still quite a lot, but I feel like it gets everyone important in there. Let's put Ghost Rider and Blade in the first 2 slots, so who follows? Going through the supernatural side of things, I picked 4 other characters that I think fit perfectly: Elsa Bloodstone, Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, and Brother Voodoo. Let's take a look one by one. Ghost Rider, aka Robbie Reyes, is a LA-based mechanic who is basically possessed by a vengeance-fueled ghost or demon. It's not really clear at this time, and he uses all of these new powers to take down the criminal element in Los Angeles in quite violent fashion. Speaking of violent fashion, Blade, or Eric Brooks. He's a half-vampire, half-human hybrid who spends his days hunting bad vampires to protect the innocent, and of course he uses blades to do so. Now to the new characters. Elsa is the daughter of a man named Ulysses, who, long story short, put together a powerful artifact called the Blood Gem, giving him enhanced strength and all that, and started pretty much hunting monsters down. After he died, his daughter, Elsa, armed with the Blood Gem and multiple kinds of weaponry, continues his work, hunting down various kinds of monsters, including vampires. She's a great character. I'm actually quite surprised that she never really got her own solo series. But in any event, she would make for a really fun show. It'd be awesome. Moving on to the Man-Thing, Dr. Ted Salas, a biochemistry professor at Empire State University, was recruited into a S.H.I.E.L.D. research program titled Project Gladiator, another attempt to recreate the super soldier serum that made Captain America. His wife at the time, Ellen Brandt, who was in Iron Man 3 by the way, was growing bitter with him as he was neglecting their marriage over the project. So AIM, or Advanced Idea Mechanics, also in Iron Man 3, conspired with her to get the serum from him. She led him into an ambush and he fled, injecting the formula into himself before crashing into a swamp. That should have killed him, but thankfully that swamp happened to be the nexus of all realities, as swamps are, and the magical energies mixed with his super soldier serum turned him into the Man-Thing. And now he has made the swamp his home and is the guardian of the nexus of all realities. Man-Thing is a pretty cool character. I said that Ghost Rider was the face of Marvel's supernatural side, but honestly it may actually be Man-Thing. Just because he is an iconic part of the supernatural side of things. If there's anything really paranormal or whatever going on, Man-Thing will be there, which is why I think he should be a part of the MCU. But now to Werewolf by Night. This one's pretty easy. He's a werewolf. Jack Russell, yes, that is actually his name, inherited the werewolf curse through blood, as his father has been a werewolf. However, Russell is a bit different than your typical werewolf in that he doesn't just transform with the full moon. He can, through sheer force of will, transform whenever he likes. And, in fact, when he does this, he retains his intelligence. However, when the full moon does come, he transforms involuntarily and cannot control the much more vicious werewolf he becomes. And now for the final one. Brother Voodoo, also known as Dr. Voodoo, Jericho Drum spent years learning magic, but a different kind of magic than the one you'll see in Doctor Strange. He uses voodoo magic, a much darker type of magic. Using his magic to fight mystical threats like Doctor Strange, he actually already has ties to the MCU, with his brother Daniel Drum appearing in the Doctor Strange prequel comic. But after all that, you may have noticed something. I said 7 shows, but I only named 6 here. That is because the 7th one is the Howling Commandos. Now, they have already been in the MCU as a group of World War II soldiers with Captain America, but this is a different kind of team. In the comics, this team is run by a life model decoy of Dum Dum Dugan and a zombie version of Jasper Sitwell. However, this team would consist of all the characters I have just listed. Like in the comics, they would be brought together by S.H.I.E.L.D, who have been faced with a more supernatural threat that they don't know how to deal with. And who would that be? Well, it could be Mephisto, the actual Dracula, or really any other manner of paranormal threat. So S.H.I.E.L.D would bring this team together, putting someone they know, Ghost Rider, in the lead, and really just getting whoever else they can find to join as well. Hence, Blade, Elsa Bloodstone, Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, and Brother Voodoo being there as well. But this is really all just my idea for something Marvel could do. I'm really just spitballing here. I could go so much more in depth about the tones of the shows, how many episodes they have, and so on, but I'll spare you. But to quickly recap, 6 series about Ghost Rider, Blade, Bloodstone, Infernal Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night, and Brother Voodoo, all coming out one after the other before finally culminating in the team-up show The Howling Commandos. Copying Netflix's strategy? Sure, but it's a good one. And these characters are really all unknown, save Blade and Ghost Rider. But I think that's what really draws me to these characters. They're so either obscure or just flat out weird that it doesn't seem like Marvel would ever make a show about them. But then that sentence would have also applied to the Guardians of the Galaxy a couple of years ago. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy my nerd moment here. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my list, or if there's any other obscure characters in the Marvel Universe you'd like to see get a show. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, when the first week of the Dr. Fantastic event continues.